Hey, all you Days of Our Lives fans. We are chatting with the one and only Paige Searcy. You might remember her as a little girl named Jade. Tune in now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Why, hello, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Spotlight On. And today we are chatting with one of our favorites. She's been on the show before, and she's back again to dish about a few things that we have been very curious about. Please help me welcome Miss Paige Searcy.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Paige.
She is giving you like modern Dorothy realness today, and
Yeah.
I love it. She has on a cute little plaid dress, and she's cut her hair, which
yeah.
I love it. Very
Thank
sassy.
you.
Very cute.
I love that. And of course, you guys know me. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by my other dashing, talented, uber extraordinarily talented, I pale in comparison to him, Mr.
Matthew Evan Paine. I have to tell you, it doesn't get old.
It makes them feel good.
Yeah.
So I feed all of that to them. All right, so let's just chit chat. We're going to talk about you and your career, and of course, we're going to get to the burning question of what had happened to Paige, and why is this new girl playing Jade?
Yeah.
So we're going to get to that. We are going to open the phone lines up to you all so that you all can call in and ask your questions as well. And I'll give the number out later, but let's have a little girl chat. So first off, like, how did you get started in acting? Like, when did you know that the acting bug has bitten you?
Oh God. I was really indecisive whenever I first started acting. I went to a school called Brighton Hall, which is a private school for young professionals. I got into the school because I knew our family friends, the Jonases. Little Jonas, Frankie Jonas, he went to the school, and he referred it to me after I had had so much trouble looking for a high school that would accept me, because
Yeah.
it is a lot like college in
Yeah.
LA. Getting into high school, it was really odd. I was nervous, and Brighton Hall, they accepted me right away. They took me in, and I didn't really know what I was getting into, but whenever I first got there, everyone was an actor.
Yeah.
All the kids. It's a K through 12, and there are only about 100 kids. Every single one was an actor, except for, there were some exceptions. But, and me. So I met everyone, I became acquaintances and friends, and I had a little, boyfriend, and I got really, close to everyone who was doing that professional acting. And I was like, you guys talk about it so much, and it sounds really cool. It sounds cool, little me.
Yeah.
So I had talked to my mom. I was like, everyone's an actor here. What if I got into it too? Just to try it out, because I was always into trying things out, dancing, and I was in musical theater. Everything that I was uncomfortable with, I did.
Oh, wow.
So I tried it out. It was a little shaky in the beginning because it's a professional business.
Yeah.
I'm a kid who has never done anything really professional.
Yeah.
And I was nervous. I did a bunch of auditions. It took me a long time to not be nervous in the room. Every time I went in, I was shaking.
I get it. I still get nervous when I audition.
Oh my gosh. It's an insane type of nervousness whenever you first start. But eventually I got over that. And things didn't take off until I was about 16, 17. That's when people started noticing me.
Yeah.
And I also heard that after you get your CHESP, which is, it makes you legal 18, so you're able to work on jobs. They'll want to hire you because you don't have to bring a parent on set.
Right.
After I got my CHESP, things picked up, and I still wasn't 100% committed.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the commitment you have to make to be a great actor.
Yeah.
And even now, I'm still learning. There's a passion that comes in what we do, and an unexplainable passion.
Yeah.
But after meeting so many older actors, I've learned a lot about it, and what I have to do in order to pursue my dreams.
Yeah.
So whenever it first started taking off for me, I was still so nervous and confused. I didn't know what I wanted in life. How was I going to know what I wanted in a career?
Right.
And let me think. I started having these good auditions right before Days of Our Lives. I auditioned for a movie called A Fairy Tale, or a fairy, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I'll tell you.
and I didn't get it, so you might not be able to find it
okay.
on IMDb. But I auditioned for that. That was filming in Canada. I got up to, I did like 4 auditions for it.
Yeah.
And I had to do self-tapes and Skype chats and stuff like that. And they wanted me to go out there.
Yeah.
They're like, we want to meet you. We want you to do a chemistry read. And I said, all right, okay, I don't have a passport. So I need to get the passport, and I will come right over.
Yeah.
So I had to get my passport expedited, which is surprisingly easy in
Yeah.
LA. But
Because so many people in LA probably need a passport that's expedited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when I was at the passport office, we got started around 7 o'clock in the morning, and then around 4 I was going to pick it up. So I came back at 4 with my mom. I wasn't driving yet. And the whole system shut down.
Oh, no.
Yes. So for me, it was really stressful. It was really
Yeah.
stressful. We had been running around all day waiting to get my passport.
Yeah.
But for others, seeing other people who had emergencies outside of the country and they couldn't get their passport, I was just like, wow, like, this is a job for me. This is something fun. But
Yeah.
I don't know. There was this woman, I could tell there was like a family emergency or something that had happened to someone she had loved outside of the country, and she was like, why can't you get my passport? I need it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I'm so grateful that my job can, do this for me. But
Yeah.
I'm grateful that something like that wasn't calling for me to get a passport.
Yeah.
So after all of that craziness, I was so drained. I
Yeah.
was so drained. And this was the day before I had an audition for Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I came in and I was like, oh, fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I came in and I met Marnie Seda, the casting director, who everyone loves.
Yeah.
Everyone loves her.
Yes, because, I mean, she gives us our jobs, and she's so sweet as well.
And she's so, I heard, we constantly hear that she's so personal with you guys and make sure that
Yes, she's
you're
like a
well
mama.
prepared and
Yes.
you understand what's happening and everything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She saw something in me, even though I was so exhausted. I don't know what she saw. We haven't really talked about that. She just said, you have a look, you have I feel something for you.
Yeah.
There's something in you, and I want you to come in prepared again.
Yeah.
So I came in prepared the second time, and then she was like, okay, you're going to stay for a callback. And I was like, okay. And I had this top on that was really cut up, kind of revealing, because the character was a bad girl.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, I don't really, back then I didn't really understand that in television, bad girl doesn't mean like sexy girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had this cut up shirt. Marnie was like, you need to zip up your jacket, girl, and go in and see those producers.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. I zipped up my jacket. I did my callback in front of them, and they took to me, and you could feel that energy in the room. When you do a good job, you feel it.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
So we clicked, me and Marty, and she was like, good job. Every time I went in, she was like so happy.
Yeah.
And then I did a producer session. No, it was something else. I did one more, and then a chemistry read with James. And
We all know how that chemistry read went.
yes. So and when I met James, I was so nervous. I mean, we didn't have to kiss him. All of the Jades didn't have to kiss him.
Yeah.
We had to kiss him on the cheek just because, like, there were 5 girls.
Yeah.
I'm sweating. And so I was really nervous whenever I first met him.
Yeah.
I met him previous to just going in and before seeing the producers. And he was really nice. And now he tells me, he's like, right when I saw you, I was attracted to you. And I was like, I was so nervous. I couldn't even like think about anything else except for that.
Yeah.
But then I was waiting. There was another Jade waiting as well. She started to be very conversational, and I was like, I'm so nervous, but I'm gonna talk to. It's so funny how my mind just like is like, you need to do everything you can to do a good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get very, very competitive in a nice kind of way. I'm not an angry, competitive person.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I put my 2 cents in, and like our little conversation that we were having going down the elevator to go into the meeting room to meet the producers, and it was fun. I don't know. Waiting. I was listening to music, completely in character. I went and talked to myself in the mirror because I had coached with a really amazing coach. Her name is Bobby Chance. And she's very good at getting you out of your head whenever you need it.
Yeah.
That's if I'm ever feeling down, I go to her because she's able to lift everyone's spirits.
Yeah.
And and make sure that we forget about all of the bull crap. We don't worry about what they're thinking or what they're doing if they're in a bad mood. It doesn't matter. We're doing our jobs. We're doing what we're meant to do. So I went and talked to myself in the mirror, and I'm like, Paige isn't here anymore. Jade is here. I'm Jade.
Yeah.
I'm Jade. Like,
Yeah.
Paige, you're gone. Let me do my job. Let me be me. And I did that. I went in. I had my moment, and I sat down, and it was Jade and Joey right then and there.
Yeah.
It was that moment, that audition. Those few auditions are when I felt the passion.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps driving me.
But you can, and we I think we told you this the last time you were here with us. The second that Jade debuted on the show, we looked at you and thought, this girl has it. Like, sometimes it's, and especially in soaps because, there's a lot going on. There's, scripts and learning how to do everything very quickly, on top of it like being like your first day. We've noticed that actors go in and they're okay, but, you can tell that they're still a little nervous and, but when we saw you, we were like, this girl just settled right into the character as if like you had been playing Jade, forever. And so we definitely appreciated that from you, and it showed just your level of talent that you had. And what I found surprising was that was like your first big job. I had thought I thought maybe you had been acting since birth.
No, I wish.
Yeah, but sometimes, some people just have it. And I think that the character of Jade was just a great fit for you.
Tailor-made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, getting to know you outside of the show, you're a very sweet girl. Like, you would never imagine that you could play this, like...
Bad girl.
Bad girl.
I was
Almost
noticing...
borderline little bitchy little brat girl.
It's so
Yeah.
unlike
Yeah.
you. I was noticing when she was talking, you and I were both like hooked on every word she was
Yeah.
saying with big smiles on her face. For those of you at home, if you can't tell, you are so likable.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
My mom always says, girl, you need to be more likable because you are grumpy all the time. I'm like, Mom, I am not that grumpy just to you because I love you. And you can see all those parts of me. But
Well, you show your mom this and show that we co-sign that you
Oh,
are
she's
very
watching
likable.
right now.
Well,
Thank
shout
you.
out to Mom.
Hi,
How
Mom.
are you? So that's amazing that you finally found your passion, in acting, doing this character. For you going into this show and it being your first day and everything, how did you feel, starting this? And did you have any expectations of where this could take you and your career?
So, okay, you know how you said that, you felt that I was really connected to the character right off the bat? I think that I was during the audition process. I knew the character. I had the sense of who she was before I even started.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a typical, they're just going to settle with someone. I made sure that I had a grip of who this person was. Sometimes I think casting directors might just have to settle for someone because, honestly, a lot of actors, they don't really take the time to do it 100%. And I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah.
I'm definitely guilty of that. Going into an audition not 100% prepared, but whenever you are, it's almost like they can't say no to you.
Yeah.
They can't say no to you because you're doing the work. You did all that you could. And sometimes another person does too, and they get the part because it's just that much better.
Yeah.
Or they're different, and they're looking for something different. So when I came in, I knew who the character was. I was a little nervous because this was my first multi-camera job.
Yeah.
I had done a short film previous to this, but it had music over it, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like a one-on-one type of thing, and I had done some musical theater before, but that's theater. You're on a stage and you're like big old personality and out there, and this is television and it's on your face. I feel like I'm very intuitive. I'm okay saying that. I feel very intuitive, and whenever it comes to doing, like I said, I do things that make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Mostly because my mom helps me with that. She's
Yeah.
like, you need to do these things. It helps you. It helps you in life. That's what she missed out on, so she made sure that I had all those opportunities.
Yeah.
And it really had helped me. Doing my first job, I was nervous. I came in and I was the character.
Yeah.
I was the character. James made me feel really comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first scene.
Yeah.
Our first scene. I was wearing a green leather jacket. I don't wear leather anymore, except for the things that I had bought previous to when I was vegetarian.
Yeah.
So I was wearing a green leather jacket. It was a really sweet scene on the bench. I think it was the thing. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the audition scene. But I remember.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking about school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the audition scene. Oh my God.
Oh.
So
That's an interesting tidbit. Like the audition scene was like your first scene.
it was the first scene.
Yeah.
And we were talking about school, and we went to a party.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was wearing this really short skirt, and I didn't have my little shorts underneath, so I was like, I hope the camera doesn't see. I'm so nervous. So.
But it was such great chemistry that you and James had, who plays Joey, right off the bat. And before we started the show, I was telling you how I felt like Jade, the character, was just this very strong, independent person. And she was a bad girl, but she was like it made sense, especially like her age and where she was and everything. It made sense for her to be like that girl that kind of pulled Joey out of maybe not being so goody-goody, but just to take more risks.
Right.
Yeah.
So we liked all that.
Yeah. I feel like Jade was essential to James's character.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah, I think that's why they made the character.
Yeah.
So that Joey, the character, can grow a little more and show a different facet, I guess.
Yeah, because previous to that, he was attracted to a very much older woman.
Yeah.
Which we all went, can't do that. So it was nice to have like someone his age that still kind of had that. Jade is very mature for her age and could pull a lot out of them. During your time on Days, you had so many different storylines. You started off as, you know, this bad girl to this very, I don't want to say mischievous, but a little bit, especially with the whole, I call it the cult that
cult.
happened with like your aunt, and you enjoyed running away and all that, and then to coming back and being pregnant, and then right before you left the show having the miscarriage, and you showed so many different dynamics, and you took us through each of those with the character. How was it for you, and which storyline for you kind of made you even settle into the character even more?
Right whenever Joey told Jade that he killed Ava.
Yes. And that was early on.
Yeah, that was
So
early on.
The trust was like right there in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. It was whenever he told her that Jade's reactions, it just showed so much of who she was really.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't afraid. She wasn't cowardice. She was 100% fully in with this guy, even though he was a murderer.
Yeah.
So many weird things could have happened, but
Yeah.
I mean, the weirdest thing happened was me being like, cool.
Yeah,
So-
that's pretty weird.
So, a lot of people thought that Jade was Ava's daughter.
I still do.
Yeah.
Really?
But it needs to be you as Paige to be her daughter.
To make it make sense.
Yeah, to make it
Yeah,
make sense
yeah.
because
Yeah.
you really do resemble each other.
Yeah. Oh, that's so odd.
Yeah.
Well, Joey does have a type, I guess.
That bad girl type.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
The thing I love about your performances as Jade was how you really brought their writing to life. Like there was a scene where you were at Patch and Kayla's house, sitting on the couch with Joey, and you were eating, and your
Yes.
feet were up on the couch, and you were
Yes,
just
I
like
remember.
chowing down. And I thought to myself, "Oh, make yourself at home, Paige." And Kayla walks in the door, and she went, "Make yourself at home, Paige."
Yeah. And the sandwich scene where she was like, "Are you gonna eat that?" Oh, okay, great. I was like, this girl is just like,
Yeah,
she's
she's at home.
settled into this character and this role
Yes.
like fully.
Yes.
I loved
the
it.
character is that.
Yes.
She doesn't care.
No.
Tell us about finding out that you booked the role. So you had gone in and you had the Kiss audition with James.
Yeah.
And then what?
I knew right away that I had it. I knew. But I mean, I'm like, I'm scared that I'll jinx myself. So I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't, we'll wait. But I think I got it. I was on the phone with my mom, and then I went to my best friend's house, and I was just like, I'm excited. It went so well. So let's just see. And then I got a call 2 or 3 hours after the chemistry read, and
Wow,
they're like, you
wow.
got it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was really quick. I wasn't expecting it to be that quick, because things usually take a while to settle in.
Yeah.
But
Who called you?
my manager.
Oh,
Yeah, my manager. Marnie called her and was like, she got the job. And then after that, I'm pretty sure I got a call from Marnie, and she's like, great job, Paige. You did so amazing. I knew that you were going to get it. You worked your little butt off. I'm so proud of you. Like, just her
Aw.
sweet voice. I love Marnie. She has the best aura.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I learned really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was probably like a week later when I was on set for the first day.
Oh wow.
how did James find out that you got it? Did you show up and you were Jade, or did you message him and say, "Hey, I booked it"?
No, I think somehow he got my number, I think. So
That little
That a
sneaky
boy.
snake.
I don't remember really. Or maybe I gave him my number. I don't know.
You were so nervous that whole time. Like he probably was just
Yes.
like, "Hey, yo, can I get your number?" You're like, It's
Yeah.
whatever.
310.
That's totally fine. It's fine.
Exactly. And he, right after the chemistry read, he was like, really good job. And I was like, you too. But I didn't. I was just so excited. I was like, you too. Oh, thank you. And then I just like went outside and I waited. I don't know whether I gave him my number then or somehow we got into contact.
Yeah.
He was like, congratulations. And yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
He knew. So.
I wonder now how he got James. If you're watching, you message us and let us know how you got Paige's number.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I want to know.
I
too.
know.
I wanna know.
I don't know. Maybe I'm like completely misconstruing the whole thing. I can even text him, but he might be watching. Who knows?
And you have all of a sudden you have totally blocked out the whole conversation that you had with him that day where you exchanged numbers and you're
Yes. No, I'm just like I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And so excited. It was a really good day.
Yeah.
It was a really good day.
It
I will
was.
always remember that day.
like, oh,
How
good.
quickly did you two start dating after you started?
Now we're really getting to girl talk.
Yeah, like a month or a month and a half.
Forget the
Yeah.
cameras. Talk
Yeah.
to us.
A month or a month and a half, probably. Yeah, no. Well, we started like getting attracted to each other then. I think within the first month, and then we try to remember. I think it was because we went on a hike, and there was this graffiti written at the very top of a hill in Malibu. It was a Malibu Creek hike, and we like climbed up to this like little plateaued area, and there was like a cave, and we were just like standing and like enjoying each other's company, and then he pointed to that little sign, and I couldn't read what it said. It was like foggy, and then and then it said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" And I thought he was joking. I was like, yeah. yeah, sure. Are you serious? And he was like, yeah, I wouldn't have asked you if I wasn't serious. And
I can hear him saying that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, James has got some moves.
He's got
on
game.
him. Like it's like how did you know? Like that
I
would
know,
that
right?
would be or did
Maybe he was.
do you
he
think
said
he
said
hyped up
was
before
just,
and did it?
No. He said he was just feeling it in the moment, and
Yeah.
that sign was right there, and he
Yeah.
decided to ask me, and I was like, "Oh, you're so sweet."
Oh.
He's so sweet. He has the sweetest heart. He's probably like, why is she talking about all this?
James has got some brownie points. So were you, because I mean, we know that a lot of couples have happened on the show and just in the industry as well, like co-stars end up dating each other. Were you hesitant at all? Were you nervous about?
He was.
Yeah.
He was. I was like, I'm not used to any professional relationships, so I was just like, okay. I mean, like
It's like this is life. Like,
yeah,
okay.
this is life.
Yeah.
I'm used to. This is a relationship.
Yeah.
You treat it like a relationship.
Yeah.
And we're young. I'm not gonna like hide how I feel.
Yeah.
But he discussed it with me and was like, this is work. We can't really be super flirty all the time. And it was hard for me. I'm like, dude, I'm so attracted to you that I just want to like hug up on you all the time.
Yeah.
And one time, I don't know, somehow some weird rumors got around that we were like hooking up in the dressing rooms. I was like, I got really angry. I was like, there is no truth to that. Albert was one of the producers and directors. He confronted it about us and about the rumors, and we were like, no, that's not happening. If you are suspecting anything just from what you see, then you tell us. But like, if people are talking, there's nothing we can do about that. And like, so we just decided, it's work. We really can't be that flirty.
Yeah.
People talk.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of like high school.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So we decided to just, it's professional, and we'll be touchy after work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was one time before we did a scene, and we were sitting in the commune area, and like he was laying on me like this. My legs were out, and he was laying on my chest. And like we got confronted for that. So it was just like all of those moments where they're like, we want you to be professional. But I was like, you know, it helps us get into character as well.
It does.
We're love interests. So why deny us that?
That's because I was thinking that, you know, obviously, you know, there was obviously an instant attraction, but it helps that chemistry on camera. I guess maybe if you were suddenly like, I don't like him like that, and then all of a sudden he was like, well, I don't like you anymore like that, and then it could damage the relationship. But I think that you guys, you know, have handled it obviously very well, and it obviously helped you two stay connected as you needed to throughout the scenes and with the characters.
Yeah.
Was it hard to do those scenes where he started being a little resistant towards Jade, and she started being a little
it was hard.
A little thirsty.
Yeah. Jade became a little thirsty.
Claire. She was a little
she
Claire.
Was crazy.
Yeah.
She was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard. Pretending that we weren't like in love. But we did it. And I just remember, like, I didn't really connect to it as much. You know, you kind of have to fake it sometimes. I mean, did that show? No? Well, that's good.
It seemed really authentic that, like, all of a sudden, and it's teenage love. Like, it's like one day you're in, next day you're out, you know? And then when the baby came along, I was kind of teetering with the whole baby situation. I thought in my mind, I was like, she's not pregnant. I was like,
I thought so too.
I was like, Jade is smart. Jade is like, I'm pregnant. Just to hold on to him.
I got the script and I was like, she's probably lying.
So you thought the same thing. Like I was with you. I was like, no, she's not really pregnant. And then I still feel bad for thinking this. But when the pregnancy was real, but then when the miscarriage happened, I was like, thank God. Like I was like, I just don't know how I feel about, because at that moment, there was such a disconnect between Jade and Joey that it wasn't that same loving couple that we had seen in the beginning. It had transitioned into like I'm almost over you, but now I'm holding on to you, and kind of rekindling that love because now we have a child.
Yeah, we have a baby.
And so when the miscarriage happened, I was just like, oh, thank God. I always say I feel bad, but like I was like, whew. For you having to play a teenager who's pregnant and then a teenager who miscarried, how was that for you, and what did you do to kind of get in the mindset of like, I'm going to be a teenage mom, but now I just lost my baby? Like, how was that for you?
Okay. This was toward the end of me shooting.
Yeah.
So it was a very emotional time. I mean, this character was my first character. It was my baby, this character. And it played into like the death of my being on the show. The death of the baby was the death of my time being on the show. It was hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad it was like at the same time because it helped me. But I do think that I have a connection with that storyline with losing a child. I have never been through anything like that, thank God. But my cousin, who has recently passed away.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
It actually wasn't recently. It's probably been a year already. But she had multiple miscarriages. She was having a hard time having a child.
Yeah.
Hearing about that, hearing how it's so close to home, it's hard. It makes it even easier for me to empathize with something like that.
Yeah.
And just being a woman in general, like having my menstrual cycle, weird things that I have to go through as a woman.
Yeah.
The thought of, pregnancy is possible, things like that. if I were to become pregnant, it's easy for me to imagine because I have the womanly instinct. And when I lost the baby, it was so easy for me to feel that pain.
Yeah.
Sadly, it was
When Jade lost the
extremely
baby, I don't want
painful.
people to suddenly think
Yeah.
that.
No, when Jade lost the baby, I have never been pregnant, and
Yeah.
I have never had a miscarriage, and I have never had anything like that.
We're speaking of Jade.
Yes, Jade Michaels lost her baby,
Yes.
and it was very easy for me, Paige, to play that.
Yeah.
It was extremely overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I had time to settle into it either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were on set and like, okay, you're gonna lose a baby now, and I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, and then, but it was easy for me to like feel everything.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't artificial at all.
Yeah.
Tell us about the tail end of your run as Jade on Days of Our Lives, about finding out that you weren't coming back to the show.
Okay. So let me think. I don't remember when it was, when the last month I was there, but I knew about I knew that I wasn't going to be on the show anymore. They offered me a contract. It was for 2 years. I said, maybe, I don't know, 2 years is so long. Like, me and my mom have had a discussion about me going to college, and it's just important to her. I'm trying to make her happy, but make myself happy at the same time.
Yeah.
They offered me the 2 year. I got it down to a year, with a lot of negotiation. And still, I was feeling unsure. I was like, I might be able to take this year as my own and be able to audition for an entire year and see if anything happens. And I don't know, being on Days, it's very gratifying playing a character that I created by myself. I mean, with the help of Bobby Chance. She's great.
Yeah.
But it's sad that I thought, I don't know if I want to do this forever, because it's very easy for them to like hold on to you. And if I signed the 1 year, they wouldn't let me audition until the last 2 months. And I was just really unsure, really nervous, and I said, no, I'm not going to do it, because I want to grow as an actor. I feel like I have a lot of potential to do bigger things. I want to be a movie actor.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
A drama movie actor, dramatic movie actor. So I didn't sign the contract. They were very disappointed, but they have to go on with their business.
Show must go on.
Yes, exactly. And
Yeah.
they were like, okay, well, we're gonna recast, okay? And I was like, okay. And so they recast fairly quickly, and I wasn't like updated at all with any of the like what was happening, who they cast, or any of that. So it was, I kind of felt like I was in the dark for that whole process. And I was just waiting for my last day. And they were like, okay, well, this is going to be your last day, this date. And I was like, okay. So I did work up until that last day. And I was like, okay, well, it's my last day. And then they're like, oh, no, you have one more day. And I was like, okay, I don't have to say goodbye to anyone. So I was just going to, like, make it a big old thing to where I brought in like, cookies or whatever at the last day. But I was doing my last day. I didn't say goodbye. I was filming a movie at the time, Mommy, I Didn't Do It. And I was doing that, and no, this was during Pimp. I don't remember. I was filming a movie.
Yeah.
And I was rehearsing with James, and the night before I had my last day of work, and I never got my call time. They usually send an email where they're like, okay, you're coming in at 12 o'clock tomorrow. And I never got my call time. I was like, okay, well, maybe James has a call sheet. So, James, can you check your call time? And he checked and he was like, babe, Gabrielle, the new girl, is coming in tomorrow. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? Like, I'm booked. I have an email, like, confirming that I'm booked.
Yeah.
That's insane. How could they forget something like that? They're so professional. They're so on top of things. But apparently they weren't then. They were, like, flustered with having to get a new character that they just forgot about me. And I was really disappointed in that. I was like, you know, things could have gone so much easier if you guys stayed on top of that, and you wouldn't have had to pay me for that day that I didn't get to work. They had to pay 2 Jades that day, so I was like,
well, as long as you get that check,
yeah,
that's a good thing.
No, it was just like, I could have said bye to everyone, but that didn't happen, and so I feel like they were kind of embarrassed. And I tried to go visit after that. It was a little hard to go visit. They wouldn't let me in the gate. James tried to, like, keep talking to everyone and being like, hey, Paige, she was in the area and she was wondering if she could stop by. She never got to say bye to everyone. And one of our producers was like, no, not today. And then I did it another time. He was like, no, not today. I would come down there every time thinking that it would happen. And they were like, no. And then my manager was like, you know, maybe we should just, like, send some sort of gratitude for everything that they did for you. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. We'll send some flowers, maybe some cookies, like something nice, and leave us smelling like roses. So maybe they'll, like, want to invite us in so I can say bye to all my fellow actors and stage manager Stuart, because he was awesome, and, like, Marnie and everyone. So we sent some flowers. They said thank you, you know, and I was like, can I visit? They're like, yeah, you can visit. So
good.
I got to visit. It wasn't the same. Things were different. Everyone seemed, you know, it's like work.
Yeah.
It's work. Everyone goes in, does their work. No one's like, oh, Paige, you know, everyone's like, lines.
Yeah.
So, that happened.
Yeah.
And after that, I was a little, like, upset about it for a while.
Yeah.
So.
But aren't the actors allowed to bring guests? Like, couldn't James have brought you in as a guest?
Yes, but they wouldn't let him for some reason.
Yeah.
Because of the little mess up, I guess.
Well, I think for fans, we were all concerned about, you know, what happened and why it happened so quickly. But to hear that, you know, I think any actor has to make a decision on, you know, based on what's best for them. Which is what you did. And we all know that soaps, you know, you can get locked in for a good amount of time. But you had other goals and aspirations. And at the end of the day, you had to make the best decision for you. Kind of sucks as far as, like, everything that kind of transpired after that. But, you know, work is work and a job is a job. And one has to do what the other has to do. But it sounds like now things are good and smoothed over. We have a new Jade now, which we're like fans. We're just with open arms and, you know, welcoming her in.
A little bit closed arms, just a little bit, just because we love you so much.
Oh, thank you.
But I'm glad that you obviously really thought about whether being locked into a 2-year contract or a 1-year contract would be beneficial to you and what you wanted to do with your career. And again, just shows how strong and independent of a person you are to do that. And we've seen, you know, people who have been a part of the show make that decision too, and things have worked out perfectly fine. Ashley Benson being one of them, who used to play Abigail Devereaux. She was on the show for a little while and went off to do she actually did Bring It On, one of the Bring It Ons, and then did Pretty Little Liars. You know, things are going well for her. And so many other people. Jen Lilly one of them who made that decision as well and is off doing movies and guest starring and co-starring on different things like that. And there are some people you look at and you think like, good for them, everything is going to be fine. And I think you're one of those people that things will be fine. I think you have made your mark into this industry, and then to follow it up with not one but 2 projects, because you did Mommy, I Didn't Do It, and you have your short film coming, or independent film coming out, Pimp.
Yes.
So it looks like the ball is still rolling. So fans, no worry, Paige is good. But how are you, now that the dust has kind of settled, like how are you feeling about the next steps in your career?
So, I want to tell you a really, like, not life-changing, yeah, it was life-changing, but it's something that I have had to overcome recently. So right after we did Mommy, I Didn't Do It, well, right during that time, I had auditioned for a film, a really, really large film. I wish I could talk more about it. I can't say the title. But I auditioned for that. It was an interesting role. It was about an elf girl named Tika. And she had superpowers. She wasn't from planet Earth. A very large actor was in it. I mean, was already cast in it. 2 very large actors were already cast. I went in for it. I didn't know much about it, but I had a really good grip of this character. She spoke backwards, but I had a good grip of her.
Yeah.
So I learned all the lines backwards. It was something that I had to connect to. I did that. I went in, and then it took about 2 weeks for them to get back to me. I didn't think they were. I was like, I'm probably not right for it, you know. Like, I don't look a lot like a cute little elf would. So they got back to me 2 weeks later, and they're like, we want you to do a director's session. And with David Ayer. And he did Suicide Squad and Fury and something else. Something with, I don't know. You can look it up.
Yeah.
But I thought he didn't like me even then. He's very straight-faced. And I did the director's session. It went really well. Or actually, it was a callback, and then a director's session after that. That went really well. Things were going amazingly well. We were all very prepared for it to happen. Everyone was talking about it. He set me up with one of the coaches that someone he had worked with previously. He set me up with their coach. So I was working with a coach named Ivana Chubbuck.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and he was paying for that. So I got to do those coaching sessions, and then it just seemed like everything was falling into place. Everything was. I was doing a really good job. I was going at a fast pace. I was, like, ready for this to happen. And then the day of the test, the big day, the last audition came, and I was feeling terrible. I was I was prepared to go in. They were going to do my hair and makeup. But I came in, and I didn't have any hair and makeup. My hair was, like, frizzy, long, how it used to be, like, long and frizzy, and, like, I looked tired. I was like, you know, they're going to do my hair and makeup. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But they didn't. It said on the email that they were going to do all that, and they didn't. And I was like, oh, God. Okay, I'm already feeling terrible. I just got to suck it up. But that day, I was just, like, in my head.
Yeah.
I was feeling so weird. I got to meet, I wish I could say the name.
Someone big.
Yes, someone big. We got to do the test together, and it went so bad.
Oh, no.
It went, the first two scenes, I was just like, like, I had an instinct to do an exercise that was, no one told me to do it, but I felt it in my heart. I was like, I really want to ask the other actor if he will hold me in his arms like a child. Just so we can have that moment and be together. And I ignored that instinct. That is one thing that I will say actors never should do. Never throw away an instinct. Ever, ever, ever. Because it will screw you over. And I ignored that instinct. And right after, I was like, to one of the assistants that were walking me back to the main studios or the dressing rooms, and she was like, I was like, that went so bad. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. You just, when it's something that big, you know. Like with Days, I knew it was gonna happen. With this, I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen. You know, it's a long shot. If someone else doesn't do well, maybe they'll settle. But I didn't do well. So, well, like the other ones, like the other auditions that I had previous to this. So I was like, I don't know. And they decided to go with a different actress. And I was like, you know, that's good. That's good. I remember seeing her too in every audition that I went into. I was like, there's something about that girl. There's something, you know? Yeah, I guess it's like subconsciously you know your biggest competition. And when I messed up on that test, I let it get to my head so much for a long time. It's been maybe like 4 months. And once you fall for the first time, it's hard to get back up. It's been hard, but now I feel like I'm going. I'm going again.
Never let
Good for you.
Never let things get in your way. And we all have off days. And you know, and sometimes things are just not meant for us, as my mom would say. But you know, we here support you and want to encourage you to keep going. Days fans will always, you know, be behind you and support you as well in whatever you do.
Thank you, Days fans.
Yeah. So speaking of fans, let's open up our phone lines because fans have a lot of questions here, and I know you guys want to call in. So feel free to give us a call at 424-253-0749. Again, that's 424-253-0749. Give us a call with your questions or comments for Paige, and let's check the chat room and see what questions are in there. Matthew, do you see any that are popping up?
Yes. Willis Sargent said, would Paige go back to Days if Marty asked you, or would you go to another soap?
I think I would not go back to Days because there's already a new Jade. I feel like it'd be kind of confusing to have one Jade, a new Jade, and then go back to the old Jade.
They did it with Jennifer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Soaps are interesting.
It was Missy, and then it was another woman. I think it might have been 2 other women, right?
I know there was one other woman that played Jennifer.
Yep.
Or you can do what Judy Evans did. She originated Adrian, and then, they brought her in as Bonnie Lockhart. So it might have been a little confusing, but it can happen. Thank you, Anthony. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV Spotlight On. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Lisa from Loganville, Georgia.
Hey, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good tonight. How are y'all doing?
Doing great. You are on live. We have Paige here. Say hello to Paige.
Hi.
Hey, Paige. Thank you for your time for us. And like Tony said, you will always have our support. And you were amazing in that hard scene you had to do with losing the baby, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
I could tell it was from your heart, which is, your acting is. I could tell that.
Oh, thank you.
And I also saw your movie with actually Jim, really the one you were talking about, Mommy, I Didn't Do It.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that was very great, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I do have a question for you. What was it, if you don't mind, what was it like for you to work with Mary Beth and Steve?
That is probably the number one question that I get. They're really great. Mary Beth, she's very similar to Kayla. She is. She's very motherly and protective. And they're so much fun. They're so much fun together, Mary Beth and Steven. They're like kids. It's like they've known each other forever. They have known each other forever. And they have this...
I always liked him playing that harmonica. He likes to carry around.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His harmonica. He's such a patch. He is. The way he dresses in real life too is similar to how Patch dresses. It's so funny. They're both really sweet. Steven is so kind as well. They love each other so much. They're like best friends. I don't know if you can see the Daytime Emmys live, but whenever Mary Beth won last year, he was crying. It was really sweet. Yeah, so just being close to that is really heartwarming.
That's sweet. And you and James are cute too, and he seems like Patch Jr. to me. So, or Joey does, yes.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. I know somebody else is probably trying to call in, but
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa, for calling
Thank
in.
you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You
You
too. Bye, Lisa. I'm looking in the chat, and I believe you have a relative in here.
My grandma.
Your grandma Dee Dee?
Yes, Grandma
Yes.
Dee Dee. Oh my
She's
gosh,
here.
how did she figure this out? I love the live chat, my beauty, Grandma Dee Dee.
She figured out she even has her little picture and everything, so she is all set. So shout out to Grandma Dee Dee who is watching. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us in the chat. Let's see. I think we had some other questions for you. Did you
I
see
have
them?
one.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
if you could go to another soap, if you've even thought about that, which one would you go to?
I don't know. What has the best cinematography? What has the best writing? What is your favorite soap?
Mine's Days of Our Lives,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm starting to love that I have never been into before until very recently?
What's that?
The Bold and the Beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
My Nana watches every soap opera except for Days of Our Lives. Now, she never watched it before.
Yeah.
She was watching Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, and All My Children.
I loved All My Children.
Yeah. So probably whatever my Nana's favorite was, probably All My Children. Yeah. Because she watched it all the time. I remember that
It was a
that
good
song.
one.
What was that song?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it.
I know that from my childhood. It's been like embedded in my head.
That is perfect.
Betty Jean wants to know, do you and James hang out with any of the cast of Days? Which I know that you guys do because you came to our meet and greet with Olivia.
Yes, I went to high school with Olivia.
Did you really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and me and her sister went to high school as well. We all went to the same high school.
Were you friends in high school?
Toward junior year and senior year, yes, we were. And especially because we were on the same show.
Yeah.
That's whenever we really clicked. I was friends with her older sister before I was friends with her, and her older sister graduated before I did. So after she had left, me and her little sister kind of like clicked after that. So who else do we hang out with? Not very many people. Just I tried. We hung out with Jonathan McClendon a couple times.
Yes.
Well, we did a photo shoot together. Jen Lilly. Whenever I was on the set of Mommy, I didn't do it. James came to visit. Everyone thought he was going to be in the movie because I did a Periscope and he was there, and they were like, he's on the movie too. But he's not. He wasn't on it. And so me, him, and Jen hung out, and no one else.
Is there anyone that you didn't get to work with on Days, any other cast members that you would have liked to have worked with?
What's her name? I'm already forgetting everyone's names. She has short blonde hair, and she plays. What's his name? She also plays a Latina character. She speaks Spanish. She has I don't know. There's like a flashback to her with dark hair, all the time that I.
Oh,
see.
Nicole. Ari Zucker.
Ari.
Yes,
Ari?
Ari. Yes.
Yes.
She's so nice.
Oh,
she was so
we
nice.
love Ari.
She was like, whenever I first came, she was like, "Are you my daughter? You should play my daughter. I need a daughter in this show. Why aren't you my daughter?" And she was just like so much fun.
That sounds just like
Yeah.
Ari.
That sounds just like her.
Yeah. So pre-nominations for the Daytime Emmys came out, and you have been pre-nominated in the Outstanding Younger Actress in a Drama Series category.
Yes.
How does that feel to get a pre-nom?
It feels great.
Yeah.
I don't know how it all works. I didn't get to submit my most favorite scenes, so I'm glad that I was nominated.
Yeah.
And right now it's up to actors, I think, in the next round
Yeah.
of getting nominated. So
Yeah.
hopefully I'm nominated. Hopefully I can go to the show and and I think I still will be able to.
Yeah.
I think James gets a +1, so I'll go with him.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss it. It's so much fun. I
It
went
is
last
fun.
year.
Oh yeah, we were there. Wait, did we see you last year? We did. We did.
Yeah, we did an interview.
That's right. Yeah. It is a lot of fun. I had fun. I got to sit with Jim Lilly and Meredith Scott Lynn, who plays Anne, and I had a ball.
Me
Meredith
too.
definitely makes it very entertaining. And then sitting with Jen, it was a great time. But I felt like such a mom because I remember when True won, I was just like, wow, yeah! And I was like, oh, okay, oh sorry, like, calm it down. So hopefully we'll be back next year and we can cheer for you. We'll be like, Paige won, yay!
Hopefully. Yes, come. Oh my
Why
gosh.
weren't you able to submit your favorite footage? Had it not aired yet?
Yes, it hadn't aired yet, so it was past the deadline. I asked if I could because it aired, I think, the day of the deadline. And I was like, can I please switch out one of them?
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
What is your favorite scene?
Losing the baby.
Oh yeah, in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. It was so real for me. Probably the realest
Yeah.
Jade has ever been. So,
They were good scenes. They were great scenes, actually.
thank you.
So we have someone else that you know in our chat room, Kristen. She says, "I'm Paige's BFF, Chris.
Chris!
Just wanted to say how much I love her, and I'm so proud. Sending good vibes. You guys are all awesome. Great show."
Aw, Chris. I love you, Chris. Miss you. I just saw her yesterday. So
Did you?
Yes.
Shout out to Chris.
Shout
Hi,
out
Chris.
to Chris. Chris Karma. Look her up on YouTube. Her music videos are up there. She's a great artist.
Well, someone did ask earlier. They wanted to. Let me find out who it was. They wanted to know if you were, because you're so wise beyond your age, if you had ever considered doing podcasts or YouTube videos.
I did. I've been thinking about that a lot.
Yeah.
So I have so many things that I want to do, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I watch JK News.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it is. JK News. They're so funny. And it's like a group chat type thing. Like they all sit like this, but in a circle. It's two cameras going back and forth to like a group of people. And I don't know. It kind of inspired me. I'm like, I want to sit in on these conversations and like just being conversational with you guys. It's nice. I want to be able to do that on YouTube and just put myself out there because I do like doing live Instagrams as well.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start a YouTube channel.
You should.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm going to.
Just like that.
You
A
heard it here
vlog.
first. Like
Yeah.
and whenever you start it, let us know. We'll post it on our Dishin Days page so that people can go and subscribe and find out what you're chatting about.
Yeah, I'll probably be talking a lot about my beliefs, veganism, and probably try to inspire all of you who are pursuing acting. Just from what I've learned, even though I'm young, some people like to dismiss that, but I feel like any advice is good advice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as long as it's coming from the heart, coming from a place of truth. So.
What's the best advice you've gotten so far about acting in this industry?
So I've gotten a lot of good advice, but some advice that I got yesterday was never come in unprepared, ever, 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 ever. Like, you need to know your lines and make them secondary, and then it will give you the opportunity to act. It's very important. It's the only way that you can grow to become a great actor. That passion doesn't exist all the time. Sometimes we just ignore certain things. We're like, oh, we can do it later. I'm still very passionate, but I'll do that later. Like, you can't You
have to
can't
do it
do that.
now.
Yes, you have to do it now. You have to be passionate now. And you can't lie to yourself that you are giving it 100%. If you're not doing that,
Yeah.
you're not doing 100%.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need to do 100% now. I need to do what I've set out to do. And I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give anything 50% anymore. I'm going to give it 100.
Definitely
So,
do. And that's very important, especially in this industry, because you do have to give 110% and really devote yourself to this industry and to this craft. And when you do get, I think of as auditions as opportunities to go and show what you know. And the biggest thing that I've realized is there are things that are far beyond your control, but if you go in there and just have fun and show them what you can do and win the room, then you're good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
because
have
you
to
may
go and show yourself.
yeah, because you may not get that part, but they may remember you for something else.
Exactly.
So as long as you go in and win the room, and you can attest to this, Matthew.
I work in casting.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Then you've won.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. I know. I've made so many like connections, even though I haven't booked certain things. They're like, we like her. Just because I showed, a little part of myself, I took
Yeah.
a moment to be like, I'm just gonna sit down and talk with you guys for a moment and waste your time a little. It's okay, you'll
Because you'll remember it.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. And they're like, she wasn't right for this role, but we're definitely gonna remember her because we find her so interesting.
And it's
Yeah.
amazing that you can go in and you can do your 100% as long as you know that you have done your part. The rest of it is completely out of your hands because they could want someone else for any reason that's completely out of your control.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So never I don't know, just never take it too personally.
Right. Well, before we have to wrap things up very soon, what is coming up for you next? Besides your new YouTube channel that you just announced, what else do you have coming up? We touched on your new independent film, Pimp, that's coming out. You want to talk about that and any other projects that you have?
So Pimp will be coming out. It's an indie film. I don't know where we will distribute it yet. It's a really great film, though. It's raw. It comes from a female director. Keke Palmer's in it. Haley, I always forget her last name.
Steinfeld?
No, Haley.
I feel
You
like
can look it
Find
up.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Haley.
Let me look on Instagram really quick. I'll do it so fast. Haley Ram. I just remembered. Haley Ram is in it as well. I play a supporting role. I don't come up a lot. We shot it in New York, so I'm sure that had to do with me being from out of town. They had to pay for extra stuff for me.
Yeah.
So my character's name is Charlie. She's a young prostitute in the Bronx. It was very real shooting this. I had to get out of the car by myself in a prostitute outfit, very short with high boots.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anyone waiting for me around the corner. I got out in a very sketchy part of town, and I was like, this is my everyday life. I just gotta fake it.
Yeah,
and I faked it, and it was scary.
This is my corner.
Yes.
I say who,
Yeah.
I say when, I say
I
Run
how
got
this
much.
town.
so many whistles when I walked out of that car. It was crazy. I was like, okay, just
I can
hurry
do
up and
this.
call cut. call cut. And then, yeah, it was great. It's a great film.
DMX is in it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
And one more question from Willa Sargent, who is our loyal fan, not only of us, but of Days as well. She wants to know more about James. She wants to know, what is his personality like?
Okay, here we go. He loves freshwater fish. He has 3 aquariums in his apartment. Oh my God, that boy. He has, the biggest one is nearly 200 gallons. No, 100 gallons. It's 100 gallons, and then the one upstairs, 75 gallons, and then he has a little tiny one that's about 50, maybe,
Wow.
or less. And he's obsessed with fish. What else can I say? He's a writer. He's writing a lot. He just wrote a short film that he's making.
Oh, good for him.
Yes, and he's inspired me to write. I'm writing a play right now.
Good for you.
Yes, thank you. And he just finished a screenplay as well. Oh, it's so great. He's doing so many great things. What else? He is 22 years old. He's young and fun. He's very loyal and very kind. He makes sure to spend time with his family, even though they're really far away. Anytime he feels like someone needs a little support, he goes and gives them love and support. He's very loyal. I love him so much.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Do. He has the best heart I've ever seen in someone. So, I mean, next to Chris, she has the best heart too.
Yes.
And a lot of people in my family. Everyone that I surround myself, luckily, everyone has a really kind heart.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's always good. That's very important to
Yes.
surround yourself with really good people. And one last question, and then we'll wrap up. Out of this experience with Days and originating Jade and what you've gone through, what is the biggest thing that you take away from this experience on Days?
That I take from the experience, what is the biggest thing? Let me think. Probably being in touch with a character so much that you just forget what pretending is. It's not pretending, it becomes real. And it's so gratifying. I love that feeling to just be able to like be a character instead of pretend to be a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's hard to do that. It's
Yeah.
hard to be able to like say to be able to say that I am this character. With a certain project that I did, I felt like it was harder for me to connect to a character. So with Jade, it was undoubtedly the closest I felt to a character.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, good. Well, we have loved you since the day you appeared on Days, and we are very happy to see you continue to progress in your career. And like I said before, we will continue to support you, and so will the fans.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to our Spotlight On with the very talented and beautiful Miss Paige Searcy. I am your host, Tony Moore. You can find me on all social media platforms at Lounge with Tony, or my website, loungewithtony.com. Matthew, where can they find you?
Ooh, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Matthew E. Paine. And young lady, where can they find you?
On Instagram and Twitter at Paige Searcy.
Yay! And of course, you guys don't go anywhere. At 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will give you a full recap of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. And don't worry, Mark J. Freeman and his hair will be joining us later on. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in a bit. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.